What's up, everyone, and welcome to another Bitcoin market update. Let's start off here on the weekly time frame. We are looking at Coinbase. So, pretty much on every exchange, this most recent weekly candle that we just closed last night closed below the high from February 15th. Now, what I said in yesterday's video was the bulls closed this candle above the weekly candle from March 8th, but they needed this weekly candle to close above this high to give us reasonable confidence that this bull trend is going to continue. With a close below, it decreases the likelihood that this trend is going to continue to the upside, because if we look, we're starting to get bear volume instead of an increase in bull volume like we were seeing right here. So let's look at the daily time frame for a little bit more clarity here. If it would load. Okay. Apparently we're going to the 6-hour time frame. All right, so we're looking at the daily time frame here, and there's a couple of levels to watch. The main support level down here for us is this gray zone right here, which starts at about 52,550. And that goes down to about 50,875. Now that is also inside his blue zone, which is on the 3-day time frame. That is a 3-day support level that we have not touched yet. So that's this black candle right here. So we changed the 3-day trend with our low, high, higher low, and then higher high pattern. So that makes this level right here that was previously resistance because we sold, people were selling right here, and that's what pushed the price down right here. This is going to be a support level if we come back into it, or it should act as a support level. So the way that you can play that on the daily time frame is, the way that I'm thinking about potentially playing it is buying in on the top of the blue zone and then layering in bids throughout the middle of the blue zone and putting my stop loss below the blue zone, which is down at about 47,000. Right now on the daily time frame, we're tightening up on Bitcoin. There's not a lot of volatility happening up here, so you can see that the price is getting, the price movements in this range are getting less significant than like price movements in this range. So we're getting tighter and tighter. And then yesterday we broke to the bear side, but we closed above it. So it wasn't, confirmed push to the downside just yet. We pushed down, but then we wicked up, showing us that people bought the dip. And today we have an inside bar so far. If we close 2 daily candles below this low, though, right here, that will signify that a bear trend has been validated. And the way we know that is with our bear pattern that we see all the time. And that's with a high, low, lower high right here in comparison to this one, and then a lower low. Now, if you just look for that trend alone, it can tell you a lot in terms of where the price may be moving next. For instance, right here, we had a confirmed bull trend right here after we had our low, high, higher low, and then higher high. Now you can see that even if you were just like, all right, I'm just going to wait for a trend because there's just a lot of mess in here. I'm just going to wait for the trend to be established to make an entry. You could have waited until either this candle printed, which is our first close above this high, telling us that we have a higher high, or this second candle printing to guarantee that we have a higher high, and entered a position right there, and that trade alone would have yielded over 10%. So that's the way that trends work, is they're giving you an idea for where the momentum of price may be moving next. So right now, when we're choppy like this, which means that there's really no established trend, there's no momentum going to the bull side or to the bear side. So there has to be a trend established on a shorter term time frame before something like the daily time frame is going to figure itself out. So let's look at a lower term time frame, like the 4-hour, and see what we're dealing with there. So on the 4-hour time frame, we have this purple zone right here, which is our support zone. That is actually from the 12-hour time frame, when we changed this trend to bullish. So on the 12-hour time frame, we changed the trend to bullish right here with our low, high, higher, low, higher, high. But since then, we kind of consolidated above, and then we've tested it a few times now. So if we come back into it again, I don't know if it'll hold for a fourth test, because we tested it once here with this black candle, twice here with the white candle, 3 times here with this black candle, and now we're trying to come into it a fourth time. Now every time that you test this level, it gets weaker. So what we're looking for in the 4-hour time frame to potentially see if this purple area is going to break is we're going to be looking for a bearish trend to establish itself on the 4-hour time frame. And right now what we have is just a bunch of chop. There's nothing to establish a trend inside of here. There's just a bunch of highs and lows, and we're wicking above this high, but we didn't close above it, and then so there's really nothing here just yet. So we have to wait for a trend to establish itself. We'd be patient, and then we can make an entry once we know where the trend is going. That's about all I have today for Bitcoin. There's a lot of chop, a lot of consolidation. Periods like this are not exciting to trade or invest in, obviously, because there's not a lot of action. But the exciting news is when you have a lot of consolidation, once the price does end up moving, it moves pretty significantly, and there's a significant price movement. So you can think of it, I talked about this on yesterday's video, you can think of it kind of like a rubber band. If you stretch a rubber band long enough, which is what we're kind of doing right now with price, we're stretching it and more. Eventually, when you let go of that rubber band, it snaps. And that's the price action. The price action is going to snap in one direction, either up or down. So we'll see what direction that ends up being. And for clarity, if you're looking on like the daily time frame, you can go down to something like the 4-hour to see where the trend, where we're at in terms of trend. Right now, like I said, there's no trend established here, but hopefully that will change relatively soon. All right, if you guys like this video, give it a like down below. Leave any comments with any questions you have, or if you found this video interesting, leave a comment. And subscribe for future cryptocurrency and blockchain educational content. We'll be releasing a bunch of content this week as well around different things like how to put orders in, as well as other interesting things like that. So I hope that you tune in. Until next time, onward and upward.